Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're coming to you on another Friday, and I'm hatless because, as you know, last week, for everybody that watched the whole way through, we did a giveaway, and today is the day. I'm going to be giving away, the koozies, like we talked about, if you watched the whole video. If you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. You got to be watching the whole videos. But guess what? You got to watch this whole video just to see who the hell won. So I'm going to go hatless this whole time. So without further ado, this week we're going out. This beer goes out to the dude who owns Riviera, because he came by this week to see the progress on everything, and by golly, he brought us a 12-pack of the goods. So this goes out to you, buddy. You know who you are. And as always, before you tip that drinky, one must pop that pinky. Okay. Let's proceed. So it's Friday. It's 7 o'clock and update video time. So we're going to jump under the truck because we had a bunch of shit going on last week. If you remember, if you watched, we had the exhaust going down. So this week was dedicated a lot to the exhaust. And a bunch of bullshit up underneath the hood again, as far as like finalizing things. We're not going to get into that, but what we're going to do is we're going to jump underneath. So without further ado, I will meet you under the truck here in a second. Now, we had a whole lot of cutting and pasting going on this week as far as the exhaust goes. We made it as symmetrical as possible, obviously. If you remember last week, we were doing the cutouts in here. We showed off a little bit of that. So the cutoffs are finalized now. We got them dumping right here. They're beautiful. Something's landing on top of the damn garage. I hope it ain't another fucking cat. We got enough of them damn things running around. But no, if it's a cat, I'll take another cat. What the fuck? We got a black one. We got a black and white one. We got a gray one. Calico maybe, or a Garfield looking son of a bitch. Anyways, back to the exhaust work. We got everything finalized. We have it running out the back. We got a whole bunch of shit squared away as far as the cutouts go. So you flip a switch, they dump here, and you flip a switch and it goes back there, so it's not as loud, just like we talked about last week. But you can see we come back into here, and we came through the holes in the frame just like the client wanted us to. And we have it all the way back to here. Now, we might just dump it here. I'm not sure. We are waiting on the fuel cell or the fuel tank, whatever makes you comfortable. We're waiting on that to get here, and we're going to figure out if we're going to pull these across and kind of dump them out here, or if we'll be able to dump them here. So the client doesn't want the exhaust to be shown as far as like the tips or anything, which is cool. So it'll be all tucked up under here. But I just wanted you to see all this today because it's nice and symmetrical and purdy and all that stuff. Shout out to Flowmaster right there. If you could, I mean, I don't mean to be asking for a whole lot, but me and Rock and Randy Savage discussed this week, and it'd be nice if you made a left and a right. That way I could have Flowmaster out in the open here as well, which would be nice. just for aesthetics and my OCD not to be kicking in so damn much. So, like I said, I just wanted to show you this. Everything else that's been done this week as far as this truck goes is just a bunch of tidying up shit. We're getting damn near ready to fire it off, which I'm pretty excited about. We got to figure out the exhaust. We got to get that damn fuel tank in here and shit. But we are, we're getting close, getting excited. So let's jump over to the Riviera because we were tied up with that bullshit too. Like I said, the client came out this week to check on some stuff. Brought us a 12-pack of goodies because it's almost Halloween time, and when I knock on your door, I'm looking for beer and not candy. So, as far as the Riviera goes, we showed you last week all the bullshit going on in the corners, and this week was dedicated to that driver's side corner. If you want to get a shot in here, Randy, and show them what we had going on this week. All this stuff here, so we had to make this whole setup because, as you remember, this was all rotted out just like that other side. If you need a reference, just go back to last week or pan over to this horse shit on the other side, Randy, to give them a reference of what this side actually looked like. But we cut and pasted. Well, we cutted. We didn't pasted yet. So we made some new panels and everything in here. We had to cut into this and actually make some internal structure. That way, you know, basically just making it back to stock, or at least close to as possible as far as the structure goes. Randy, if you want to come around here, we can show them what's going on inside here. So we just made a shitload of panels this week. This is open. As you remember, the rocker comes down right here, but we had to make all these panels. This inside panel, cut and paste and weld and all this shit. But all this stuff is going to end up being spot welded together. And you can see everything right now is all just together by Klinkos or just vice grips. But this is how everything's going to look. You can see up in here how this structure is going to be. So this is all going to be spot welded to this, which is this. And then this is coming down, and we're going to tie into the existing bullshit. Everything up in here is now treated as far as the rust inhibitor goes. We're going to come back after that rust inhibitor dries and cures and does its thing. I put all this stuff back on here just so you guys get a reference of what's going on today or this week. And we're going to use a two-step sealer, inhibitor sealer system, or reformer and sealer system. But you can see, had to make new panels here, had to run the bead roller and all that bullshit with this. So I'm excited about what's going on here. Okay, technical difficulty. It wouldn't be a Friday without it. You know, so my apologies, kind of, not really. Just keep fucking watching. Anyways, yeah, so we had to make all the bologna, tie in the rest of the bologna. We had to pack it, smoke it, 220, 225, 6 hours, you know what I'm saying? And now we're here. So, besides the technical difficulty that we had, all this is ready to rock and roll. I got one more panel to come in here. Obviously, this has to be covered up and shit, so that's the final piece. But as I said, I believe, if I didn't say it or if the technical difficulty happened prior to, we treated everything inside here. We treated it with a reformer or an inhibitor, and then we're going to do a 2-step sealer or reformer sealer fucking system. So there's 3 steps to the whole fucking thing, and it's going to be prime time as far as that goes. So that's what's going on with this. As far as the C10 goes, we are squared away with the rear end and shit. We decided we're going to go one more week on this to try to get these corners laid in and squared away. At least get that side all squared away as far as the metal work and the internal structure and all that shit. So we're going to do all that. But we want to get to the floors on this. We know it's a process. That's what these videos are for. So you can actually see what's going on and you can see this process. And I try to give you guys a good footage of like the visual. Everybody likes the visual. So that's why we're only showing you a little bit of what's happening this week, because all the other shit is just, nobody wants to see it, you know? You guys out there, you guys are looking for the chrome and the paint and the glitz and the glamour. And some of this stuff ain't the glitz and the glamour. But guess what? If you want to hear about all the bullshit that we get into with all this stuff, we got a podcast. I told you that the other week. We dropped the podcast, and we are firing on all cylinders with that. We have on the Spotify, and we are on the Apple iTunes. iTunes, is that what the hell it's called? iTunes, iMusic, Apple Music. Fuck, I don't know. That's the Apple stuff. So we're on that. We're on the Google podcast, and there's one more. The Apple, the Google, the Spotify, and the Amazon. We're on the Amazon. So all that shit. If you still can't get to our podcast, just go to our website. It's on the website. So there's no reason you can't hear me bullshit more about building hot rods. You know what I mean? So without further ado, last week, as you remember, if you watched the whole way to the end, we were going to do a giveaway. And if you sat through the first 30 seconds, I told you that we're going to be doing the giveaway. So we have koozies. We got the black, we got the silver, we got the gray, and we're giving one away today. So if they stay up, you know, I'm trying to make it fancy, you know, whatever. So to everybody that watched the video last week and went the whole way through it and hashtagged it's all about the build, well, today it's all about the koozie. We're giving her away. So Randy, if you could reach out here and pick a winner, that would be greatly appreciated. Get in there. Find a good one. Yeah. All right. Here it is. Oh, shit. Colby Stover, guess what? You got a new koozie for the beer cans, baby. Or the ginger ale, whatever you prefer. But I know Colby, and I'm assuming it's going to have something nice and cold in there. As far as a beverage goes. Alcoholic, I'm hoping. If not, whatever. But here's to you, Colby. Thanks for participating in this week's giveaway. I'll be getting a hold of you, letting you know what's going down. I'll send it to you. You get your choice of the silver, the gray, or the black. And now I get to finally put my fucking hat back on. You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, until next week, love you. Follow us, share us, check out the podcast. Go to YouTube, check out the videos, all that stuff, the old TikTok and all that Insta, blah blah blah. And here's to you guys. Love one another. Share happiness. How about that? And as always, before you take a drinky off the cookie, over.